Gonna keep that vibe. Drop a side down.
You right there, ladies and gents, how is it going? You catch me out in my garage right now, and I am with Daffy, my Suzuki V-Strom 800RE, and what I've got here is the Veridian Cruise Control Kit, which I am going to install for you, and then I'll show you how it works, and in a follow-up video I'll give you a review of what my thoughts are on it. Now, just to be quite clear with you, I don't want you thinking that I'm a trickster or anything like that. I have been given this kit by Veridian Cruise Control, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It was something that I wanted for the bike. It's something that I thought that the V-Strom has been missing, and it should come with it as stock, but it didn't. So I've been waiting for one of the aftermarket companies to come up with something, and Veridian Cruise is the best one that I sort of looked at for value for money versus easy installs and stuff like that. There are others available, but this is the one I've got, and like I say, I was given this one, and another bit, oh god, it's blowing an absolute storm outside. Another little bit of information, I've got an affiliate link for this where I'll get a little kickback, but just so it's not all one-sided, you'll also get a 12% discount on the kit yourselves too, so 12% is not to be sneezed at. And yeah, so if you are interested in this kit after you've seen this installed to see how easy it is, or difficult, I'm not a mechanic, you might find that this is something that you want to go and buy. There'll be links in the description of the video below to get hold of one for yourself. It's a Canadian company, so it does take a little while to get through to the UK, but I imagine if you're a paying customer it might come a bit quicker than mine did, because obviously they're covering the cost of all that. But yeah, alright, let's get down to it, shall we, and I will show you how to fit this kit. From what I can gather, it is pretty straightforward. There is one cable that you have to splice, and the rest is just a case of plug and play effectively, so it's pretty straightforward, and shouldn't cause any dramas. I'm hoping, but like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so this is kind of how it would be for yourselves, unless you're a mechanic, if you were fitting it blind. So yes, they have made their own video of the install of this. I do recommend you go and have a look at that in case I miss anything on this process, but basically it's pretty straightforward. The hardest thing, I think, is stripping the bike down. Basically we have got to get the seat off, disconnect the battery, and then we've got to take this cover off here, got to take the beak off, but to do the beak we've got to take off this cover here, and then we get access to the side panels, which we can then remove, and then these side infills which need removing, and that allows us to then lift the tank and remove the tank. Yes, there's quite a lot to take apart on the bike. I'm hoping it's as easy as an easy thing. Right, let's go on with it. First things first is to get the seat off. It's pretty simple, you should all know how to do that. Stick your key in, turn it, and just lift and drop the key on the floor. I never leave the key in the lock just in case you snap it and then you are screwed. So that's the seat off, get rid of that. Next up, we need to disconnect the battery. So always disconnect the negative side first, and then the live, and then that's all good. I'm going to leave the battery in place, don't need to remove that, I don't think, just need to disconnect it. I don't know whether you can see, but in there I've got a DNA filter. I've just had the bike remapped. I've not really ridden it to find out what it's like, but yeah, there'll be a video on that at some point soon too. Right, let's get the battery disconnected. I've got heated grips and also an Optimate lead attached to the battery here. So for me, it's quite a stack of connectors, but if you have just got the stock bike and nothing else, then it's pretty easy to disconnect and reconnect all this stuff. Just going to tuck that out the way, put that on there just so I don't lose it, and then the same on the live side. Okay, so that's both connections out, that's good, happy with that. Next thing is to get the plastics off, so we need to get rid of this front cowl here, and then start stripping the beak down, and then the side panels. So just need to find an Allen key for that, and I think there's some clips there. You've got a clip there and a clip there, which you just need to lift up to prise them out. Right, let's do that. So these should be pretty straightforward. They are just 4mm Allen sockets, so Allen bolts, 2 bolts, one on each side. Nothing fancy there. Please excuse the wind noise. Don't know what the storm's called, but it's very stormy. Now these bits on a black bike on a black day, let's see if we can get some light. Okay, hopefully the light's good enough for you to see that. What we need to do is get this out, so we need to prise it out like that, and then this should just pull out. There we go, and then do the same on the other side, and that's both of those out. This does have a couple of Velcro stickers, I believe, but this should just lift off now. There we go. Let's just put that to one side, nice and safe. Cool. So next up we need to start taking apart the beak, and to get to that we've got 4 push studs thingies, there and there. All we have to do is push them in and pull them out. So these are all the same, so we just push that in there like that, and then this pulls out, and then there's another 3 of those. Then this should just pull off like that. Just pull it back because you've got that lip on it. Awesome, that's the tray done. So next we need to get the beak off, and that has got a clip here and a clip here, and then another pushy thing there and over there. Pushy thing, same as before. Push it in and pull it out. Push it in and pull it out. These clips are things that I haven't come across before, but they make perfect sense. So what you have to do is just push in there, and then just push it, push in there, and just push it, and then just push them all the way out to the other side, and they're out. And this should just clip off and clip off and then pull off, I think. There we go, and that's off. I've painted mine, so yeah, I don't know how well that'll last, but I hope it lasts okay, but it is showing signs of grubbiness already. Okay, so that's the front part disassembled. Now what we've got to do is start taking the side panel off. So we've got a screw here which you need to undo, an Allen headed screw bolt thing there which needs undoing, and I think that's it. So screws are easy enough, it's only a short one. That was a little bit of a fiddle to get out, not sure why. So that's these. I'm doing both sides, I don't have to show you both sides, it's the same. So now we need to find the Allen key for that, and that's a 4mm, I think, same as before. Yeah, 4mm. Excuse a shaky camera, doing this all handheld while trying to do stuff. That comes out, same on the other side. Okay, so this should come off now, I think. And so that's held on there just by a lip over that part there. And I think we have to pull it all forward, but there is also a lug here which we need to pull apart. So I think just to do that, it's possibly done that, and then it should all slide forward. Got that out, but apparently I missed this. I'm not quite sure where this goes. We'll pull the other one apart and work it out. Hopefully it won't fall off. Might be something to do with that there. Yeah, we'll have a look. Okay, yes, that clip is to do with that there. I'm not sure how it's held on exactly, but yeah, just got to be mindful of that. It pulls forward. Dropped out into my hand. Okay, yeah, so that just clips into there, but what had happened is it pulled off the plastic, and then this slides into this fitting here. Next up is to get these side infills removed. Now I think they're only held on by 10mm there, just checking. And then the rest will be pops and Velcro. So undo this, And the same on this side. And then this should just pop. That's off one bit of Velcro. That's off the Velcro, but down there is a lug which goes onto that. Oh, and another lug at the back there, which I think goes into there. Cool, and the same for the other side. Next up is to lift the tank or remove the tank. Now, I've not seen how to do this on any videos, so yeah, just going to have a quick scope, see what we've got to do. I'm guessing 10mm up there or thereabouts, 10mm there and there. That's possibly it. Can't see anything else being a nasty little surprise, but we'll give that a go. Yeah, 10mm there, 10mm there, and 10mm up there. I'm going to get them off. I'll do that with camera just because I haven't got enough hands. Right, so I've removed that one there, and that one, all 10mm bolts, and yes, that does loosen the tank so I can lift it. Now again, this is going to be a multi-hand job, but there's some pipes and cables and stuff I need to disconnect underneath it before we can actually take it off safely. Excuse the bad lighting, it's really difficult in a garage, especially in a storm. Now I'm hoping if I lift this, there'll be enough to see underneath. So we've got here is the electrical connection for the fuel pump, then we've got the fuel hose, and there's also some breather hoses as well, I think two breather hoses, yeah, which all need unclipping. The breather hoses, just get some pliers on and pinch them and pull them off. This is a safety lock, so you need to push that out the way, unclip it, and then when you're putting it back together again, make sure that you clip it all back together properly. That's high pressure, that is. And then this is just an electrical connection which needs taken apart. Now I don't know if you're going to be able to see what I'm actually doing because of bad light and no room, but just trying to get these breather clips down. That's one of them. Let's just pull that off, hopefully it'll come off. There we go, that's one of them. The other one doesn't appear to have a clip on it, which is a bit dodgy. Okay, so that's the breathers off. Then we've got the electrical connection, which I imagine just pulls off. There is a tab to push in when you're removing that. That's out of the way. And then the tricky one is this high pressure thing. So you need to move the clip out the way, like that. And then it's got two notches to push it in, and that's off, and that should be good, and I should be able to now just lift the tank off completely. Yes, I would suggest doing that when you don't have a full tank of fuel. It's a bit lighter. Right then, now we are stripped down to the bare bones, we can start installing the Veridian Cruise kit. One of the things you've got to be really careful is that you don't pinch any cables and stuff like that on the kit. There's an armoured cable which you need to make sure doesn't have any chances of getting squashed, but mostly it's plug and play, although there is a cable in that connector, I believe it's that one, where I have to splice into the loom. It's just one cable, the rest is all plug and play. So now I need to disconnect a connector here. Let's see if I can do that with not enough hands. Okay, so this one is first. There we go. So you just got to push down on that quite hard, and then this pulls out, and that's your 6-pin. And then this one here, this is for the brake wire tap, and it's going to be easier to do this disconnected. So again, got to push down on there, I think, and pull. Okay, so I don't know how well you saw that with my arms all in the way. We want this one disconnected because one of the pins on here we need to tap into. I'll find that in a second, but I think it's that one there. But what we need to do is take some of this tape off that's around it, then we can pull this sleeve back and see exactly what we're doing. So I'm just going to do that off camera. Okay, so I've taken the tape off this now, and I should be able to just pull that back up the loom a little bit to give myself some room. And what I'm looking for on there is pin 9, which is on this side, which is awkward because it wants to be the other way up. So on this side, and it's the red and black one is the third one in from the right. Not the fourth, not the second, but the third is the red and black one. I need to tap into that using the supplied cable tap. So this is a pretty straightforward device for tapping a cable. You put the main cable you want along that gunnel there, and then do the first clip to clip it into place, and then you poke the second cable down the right hand side here, and use the sight hole there to know that you've pushed the cable in far enough, and then just push down on the top. So I just need to set this up so I can do that, but I also need to prep the cable as well, and place the box in the loom and stuff like that all in the right place. So when I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the purple cable from the loom that they give us, which is this one here, down through that, tap it into the cable, and then push that all back into place, and then sort of seal it all back up so it looks nice and tidy, as best as I can. But I believe I need to actually mount the cruise device before I can sort of do this, because otherwise it all just gets messy and we don't know the best cable runs. So in the install from the Veridian Cruise, they mounted it in here, and the device has got a couple of slots on each side where you can put a cable tie through. So I imagine I'm probably going to do the same and put that in either that way round or that way round. I don't know which is going to be best, yeah, so I'll show you that once I've done it, because again, not enough hands. Right, so I have mounted the cruise control computery bit there with the cable tie going through its frame, which it's got like a cable tie run for, and that goes down to here, and as you can see on this frame member here, that's where I've secured the cable tie. Trim that down, it's kind of out of the way as best as I can, but yeah, that's not going anywhere. Then up on the top here, got various different connectors, but the one I'm most interested in at the moment is this one, which is the tap for the brake wire, which is going into this block here on that red and black one there, pin number 9, which is the third one from the right as you're looking at it. Okay, so what I want to do is put the clip onto that first, and then attach this. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to try and do it on camera, but I don't think we're going to be hugely successful there, so we'll see. One thing that's happened through the delivery is this has got pushed down, so I just need to raise that up. I'm not quite sure how, but hopefully be easy enough to do. Seems to be it, just needs a little encouragement to come upwards. Oh gosh, that's just screwed everything. Right, so I have found the little bit that fell out, so I'm just going to put that there hopefully safely. Now I need to find this red and black cable, which is this one here, red and black, third one in from the right, and then carefully I want to attach that to this like that, which puts that in the cable run on that side, and then close that first stage clip like that, and that's not falling off now. Then we've got the purple one, which I've run up the inside of that sleeve as per the Veridian instructions, and that we want to push through this second hole over here, and I don't know if the camera can see it, but you can see it in the inspection cap there, and then we want to just push down this metal clip so it splices them both. No, I've done it a little bit, but I actually want to get some pliers on there to push it in properly. Or grips rather. In behind. There we go, that's pushed in and that's gone flush, and that would have spliced both those wires together. Awesome. So now that's all done, I can push this top cap over there like that, and then pull this sleeve back down. And it won't fit over the top of that red one, but at least it comes down and looks neat and tidy. And then at the back here I'll put the electrical tape to seal it back up, and we'll keep it looking pretty. Like so. So that's nice and tidy. Okay, next bit. Right, so I've done it slightly out of order, just one step. I need to actually install this diagnostic cable. Right, so we need to feed this down the frame, go across the other side, and then up that side, and then we need to connect to that there, I think. So this needs to go down here. Just get these out the way. Hopefully this will just feed through easy peasy under here. Okay, so that's gone down there, no problem. Then we need to get across the frame, and to do that I'm going to go under here, I think. Okay, yeah, so that's gone under there, no problem. And then we need to feed that down through here, I think, if that will go. I don't seem to want to go there. Nope. Might be able to take this bit off here and put it through. Okay, so I think this is a 5mm. Yep. That's quite tight. If we undo this, might be able to move it. There we go. That gives me some room there to pass that down underneath. And it's not going to get caught on anything there. So that's nice and not snaggy there, it's not going to catch on anything. This comes through, and I'll probably do a little bit of cable tie management or something like that, so that that just sort of sits there. But what I need to do is connect this up to that. It requires that to work the cruise control. If they do need the diagnostic port, then they can disconnect it. Just means that the cruise control won't work until they reconnect it, but it shouldn't affect the running of the bike. So that comes off, bring it down here like this, so it's out of the way of all that stuff there. And then which way up does it go? This way up, I think. Yep, there we go, clicked in place. Okay, so I'm quite happy that that's all good there. I do want to sort of cable tie it somehow. I'm not sure exactly where yet. I might find a way to attach it onto that or something, but we'll sort that out later. Right, so back up this way. So earlier on we disconnected this one here from there, and what I need to do is attach the one from the cruise control to that, and then attach that to the one from the cruise control. So it's just basically sticking it in line with everything that we've unplugged. So this is the one from the bike, and that needs to go to the cruise control device, which is this one, and that goes that way round, I think. Yep, so that's the bike connected to the cruise control, and now we need to connect this into there like that. So that's all connected. Still got this one to connect up, which I think we can do now. This can go back here like this, nice and tidy. Poke the cables down and out the way of everything. This one as well needs to go down here. That's nice and out of the way. Now I think this is for the switch that goes on the dash. So the button, the controller, has got this on the other end. So now what we need to do is put this up on the handlebars. So yeah, the switch needs to go in that little gap there, and as you can see there's not much of a gap there. It's possibly bigger a gap on the standard bars, but I have changed my handlebars for narrower ones. So this could be a slight issue, and it would only be an issue on my setup just because I'm running the bars from the 8S, the GSX-8S, on anti-vibration bar risers. There's a video about that on my channel, possibly link top right corner. So yes, I might need to move around the clutch lever a little bit to make some room. Yeah, we've got to see what we can do here, or I might have to mount it slightly different. You can mount it on either side, you can put it on that side as well, but again I don't have a lot of room on there, and generally when you're putting the cruise control on a motorcycle, you need to be having your hand on the throttle to set it, so being able to set it on the left hand side makes much more sense for me. So I'm going to have a little play and then I'll show you what I come up with. So what I've done for the moment is I've loosened off the mirror mount, which is also the clutch perch as well. I moved it as far to the right as I can with the taper on these bars, which has opened up a lot more room here. This should now be able to go in there, either with the cable like that, which I don't like, or I could put it with the cable going around that side, which I also don't like. As you can see, it's sort of it's not the tidiest putting it on that side, but I might find that I have to, but it doesn't allow for much adjustment this way, which means I think it has to go behind like this, which again is incredibly tight around here. So yeah, this is a me problem, this isn't a you problem. If you had the standard bars, you won't be having this particular issue. There's also the option that I could put it on that side, then it's not going to be as reachy. I've got small fingers, but with the cruise control, I'm generally not going to be leaving it on for long amounts of time. It's purely just for me to rest my right shoulder, which is injured. So to be able to put that on that side of the mirror might be a better option. But then you've got issues with the clutch switch and stuff like that to contend with, so I don't know. I'm going to have another play. Yeah, there's no way I could fit it on this side of the mirror, between the switchgear and the mirror, but like I say, this is a me problem. This is because I've swapped my bars, so I've had to put it on this side of the switchgear. Now if you are looking at this from a GSX-8S perspective, where you're buying this kit because it is compatible with that, this is possibly the route you're going to have to go as well, although it does have different mirrors on the 8S, I believe. I imagine the clutch lever and perch is exactly the same item, and the switchgear is definitely the same item. If this is something you're doing on the 8S, you're probably going to have to put it there like I've done in this instance here. Now it's not really an issue because when you're setting the cruise control, your right wrist will be controlling the throttle, so the fact that you have to just stretch your thumb across to the switchgear shouldn't be an issue at all. And when I get out and try this out, that will be something that I'll review on this particular setup. Now there are other alternatives, I'm sure, where you can mount these differently, and they offer, I think, 3 different switch gears depending on what you want. I can't remember, I might be wrong. So you've got this one which is a 3-button. They also do a 2-button. I'm not sure if that's just an old one or whether you can still get them or not. And they possibly offer another option as well. So do check out the Veridian Cruise website, and you might find that there's better options depending on what your handlebar setup is. But this one is what they've sent me, and I've made it work. And this will work on the 8S too in the same way. Now what I need to do is thread this down so it's not going to catch or be interfered with on the steering and stuff like that, and then get that down into the bike and then attach it to this connector here. Right, so I've threaded the cable down through the cable management, and a nice curve through there so it's not going to pinch on the steering, and then up through the frame there and out here. And now what we need to do is connect that to this, should be just like that. Yep. So that's connected up. Just need to tidy that away with a little bit of cable management. Yeah, there's no room to sort of put it down on there anywhere, so I'm going to have to kind of wedge it in a little bit with some of the other stuff. But there is room down there to have it all nice and tidy, where none of the cables are going to pinch or cause any problems and stuff over time. Probably just here will do absolutely fine. Yeah, so that's all quite tidy down in there, no problems at all. Not worried about any of that catching on any of the frame or anything. Once the petrol tank's back on, yeah, there should be plenty of room for everything there with no dramas. That's it pretty much attached now, so I just need to make sure I connect the fuel pump back up, the breather hoses, and get that leaf out of there. And then there's the fuel hose as well, which needs to go back together on the petrol tank. Bolt that down, and then put the side infills on, side panels, and then the beak, and yeah. Oh, and then the top plastic. That's all going to be in reverse order of what we took it apart in. I won't show you how to do that, but we'll flash back once the bike's all in one piece. Maybe I'll go and give the bike a little test ride, a short one. Okay then, so the bike is back together now, and I'm just out on the first shakedown ride just to see how it all works. Obviously the bike started up no problems at all, so that's good news. So I haven't done anything drastically wrong that I can foresee. But yeah, so when we get out into the Nationals, where I know we've got a nice straight bit of road, I shall attempt to turn the cruise control on. Now, I did read the instructions on how you're supposed to do it and stuff like that, but that was before I installed it, and my brain is little, and I've been thinking about installing stuff, not switching it on. So it might take me a couple of button fumbles to get it working, but we shall give it a go and see how it works. Now, this is the 3-button option, and there is one with 2 buttons, which I mentioned before. They're old design, I think. I'm not sure if that's still available or not. The simple is good. That's their kind of ethos. They don't like putting in things that can confuse the electrics and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of a cool that they've done it as a minimalistic install, and nice and easy too. So with the 3-button switch gear we've got on here, one of them is to turn it on, the other one is to set it, and the other one is to clear it. The clear button won't do anything unless we are in cruise control, but the other ones will do stuff, I think. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're just about coming into the Nationals, but we're not going to go fast because I'm not really kitted up for it, just wearing a hoodie. Oh, by the way, if you hear any banging and clanging, that's just the cords on my hoodie drawstring smashed against the helmet. Right, let's try turning this cruise on. Just about reachable with my little hands. So nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. There we go. Okay, I wasn't pressing the buttons hard enough, but we are now on cruise control at 50-ish miles per hour, holding us nicely. I'm just seeing if I can smell any electrical burnings. I can't at the moment, which is good news, although at 50 miles an hour in the open air you're not going to smell much, are you? But yeah, it's holding us nice and steady. I'm quite pleased with that. I just need to get familiar with the button operation, because it's not quite the same as what I've got on my other bikes. Now, to disable it, I've just used the brake, and that seems to have disabled it, and then we can keep going around the roundabout, and then throttle on, and we are set again. So on my Aprilia, the cruise control on that, if I pull the clutch in, I think that disables it too. Same with the rear brake, and the same with the front brake, and the throttle, I think, if you do like a full close or something. Whereas on here, I think we've just got the front brake and rear brake if I do either of them. So rear brake now, and that's disabled it. Let's put it back on again. That's set. Now front brake, and
Yep, the front brake disables it too. Now let's lock it back in place. What it's doing actually is going up to the speed I was at, that I'd set it at, and it goes up in 3 km/h sections. I'm just going to put the clutch in just to see if that does anything. Nothing. So I can actually change gear. No, I can't change gear while the cruise is set. That will disable it because it recognises that something's happening, which is a good safety feature, because that could mess with all the revs and stuff, so I'm not quite sure how it will read it. But yes, simple. It does what it says on the tin. The cancel button, I think, is just to clear it, and yeah, just head back along the dual carriageway. I'm in no direction today. I'm not actually out for a ride for pleasure. I'm just out to test this for you for the video, hence why I'm not really kitted up for it. But anyway, so right, so if I press plus button now, that should keep us going, but it's accelerating us up probably faster now to about 59 mile an hour or 58 mile an hour. I don't think we've got a down button, but what's that button do? That one kills it. And now if I press that one, okay, so that button there keeps you at the speed you're at. That one there will give me +3, so 49, hit it, going up in speed. Yeah, it's 3 kilometers, so it's not going to quite go up the full 3 miles per hour. But yeah, and if I hit it again, up in speed again. Nice. So that's how that works. And then if I do that, that acts as a minus button, and again minus button, so that slows me down. So we've got plus and minus on that, and then if I press it, got nothing behind me, middle button, which you can just about do with a winter glove on, that disables it. Does it? It's not disabling on that. I don't know what that does. Not sure what that does. But just tap the rate and it disables. Cool. Now I need to work out how to actually turn it off, and I'll read up on the instructions on that. So that's the basics of it. It works, really easy to fit. Now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. I think it must have been about 11:30ish that I started installing it. I think, I'm not sure. I wasn't that quick to get out of bed today, but I did get in gear and start doing this as soon as I was organised. So I think possibly about 11:30 I started working on installing this, and it's 2 o'clock now, so that's 2.5 hours, and I've had a test ride, so call that 2 hours, shall we, by the time I got the bike out to do the test ride, which isn't really that big a deal, is it? 2 hours. So to fit, I think this bike, the V-Strom, and also the 8S and 8R, it's something that they're missing, but definitely the V-Strom, their touring bike, or adventure bike and stuff like that, where you are going to be potentially doing some big miles, having a cruise control on that is a must. So I really do hope that in some iteration in the future the V-Strom 800 does come with cruise control. But I was up at Motorcycle Live earlier on, and not earlier on today, but earlier on in the month, and yeah, they didn't seem to have anything fitted to the 2025 bikes to insinuate that cruise control is going to be on them, which is a shame, but it doesn't matter. It means companies like Veridian Cruise can make some money out of the things that the manufacturers are not providing their customers. And I think from what I've spoken to of the majority of V-Strom owners, and a good few 8S and 8R owners, is that cruise control is something that they'd very much like. Yeah, I know not everyone likes the technology and stuff, but I obviously do, or else I wouldn't have installed it on my motorcycle. They didn't reach out to me, I reached out to them. I asked them if I could have one of their devices to try out, and that was because I wanted cruise control on my bike. I'm not trying to pull any wool over eyes or anything like that. They've done me a massive big by giving me the kit to show you guys, and that means I've got a free kit, and I can also offer you a 12% discount if you're interested. So I do hope that you found this video interesting, and it has lit a spark in your eyes as to the things that are possible with your motorcycle. Now if you've got the V-Strom, it's as simple as this, although you'll probably end up having to switch gear on the left hand side of the mirror there, because there's a big enough gap there with the wider bars. On the 8S you'll probably have to do it like I've done here. The 8R, it will fit, as far as being compatible with the bike, but I don't know how it will fit on the bars, so you might have to look at the other switch options for that, because you've got the clip-on bars on the 8R. But yeah, the V-Strom DE or whatever they call the other one, the road one in different countries, yeah, it's all compatible with that and compatible with the other 800 Suzuki engines. So yeah, awesome stuff. Now, Veridian Cruise do kits for other motorcycles. I said do. They do kits for other motorcycles, so do check out their website. I believe the 12% discount that you can get with my code, there'll be links down below to how you get that. The 12% discount applies to any of their cruise controls, so yeah, if you've got a different motorcycle, check what bikes they have things compatible for, and you might find that you can get yourself a little bit of a bargain with this discount. This kit, it comes from Canada, so it did take a while for me to get it, but other than that, it was absolutely painless, and I'm really quite chuffed with it. I will do a full review once I've got more used to it and stuff like that, including how easy I found the install and stuff, but you can see what it was, and you can pretty much guess what that video is going to be all about. I'm going to like it because I really want cruise control on this motorcycle, and now I've got it. So yes, right, if you haven't done so already, please click that subscribe on. There's lots of V-Strom stuff on the channel, plus I have other motorcycles as well, so there could be all sorts of stuff that you'll like. I do lots of trail riding, not on this is a road bike for me, but I've got an Aprilia Touareg 660 and a Beta Enduro bike, which I do my trail riding on at the moment, and I've also got Yamaha XSR 900 GP, which I use for being silly on, and that only comes out on nice days. So yeah, lots and lots of bikes, lots of variety, and there's some other install videos behind me. This storm is mad. There are some other videos of the handlebars and the exhaust pipes and all that sort of stuff, and I've also just had the ECU remapped on this, so I'll do a video talking about that soon too. But yes, right, that's it. So yeah, click the subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Go check out Veridian Cruise, there's links down below to them, and the little code thing to get you 12% off. There's affiliate links, so I will get a kickback, and I appreciate that because it helps pay for stuff. I like stuff. Yes, give me more stuff, everyone. Anyway, right, you ride safe, take care, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Keep that bar rubber side down. You know, you gotta keep that bar rubber side down.